What have we here? How many feet is this, Ronald?
18 feet.
18 feet.
18 feet tall.
Wow.
And it's about 5 feet wide.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's if 18 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and that's 6 years old.
Yes. Lovely. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to our Wellness Wednesday live here on Planet Wellness. We've just shown you one of our 18 feet tall olive trees. If you're watching live, please say hello in the comments. And if you're watching on the replay, it's #replay.
Yes.
So Ronald, tell us about the benefits of this tree.
If you're watching this, I can tell you now, if you're watching this, you are very blessed, because I'm going to give you some amazing tips today on how to have longevity. I mean, longevity into 80, 85, 90, 95, no pain, no arthritis, no coughing, no viruses. And I'm going to explain to you amazingly why this is such an important comment today, or set of comments. Now, what I've just shown you, picture I showed you before, is an olive tree I planted 6 years ago, and it was only about a foot, probably 18 inches at the most, tall, that's all. And I paid £30 for it, right? And I dug a really big hole and put it in, filled it with minerals and compost and lawn clippings and bits of old wood and so on. And this tree took off, it absolutely took off, and it's an incredibly healthy tree. And I was amazed how bushy and healthy it became. You see, look at that, it's amazing, And in fact, it was actually a bit taller than that, but what happened during the storm 2 years ago, the wind pushed it over, it got so wet, pushed it over, and it fell against the fence, but the fence held it. I was able to pull it back, put two big poles on either side, and rearrange the tree to make it work, right? And so it's been fine ever since, and it grew all these extra leaves since then, right? Now, so what happened is, this is the branch that I've cut off it, and that's got about 20 leaves off it. Now, I want you to look carefully at the colour. Look how beautifully green that is, right? That's typically what they call a healthy Mediterranean olive leaf. I was looking up before to look at the size. It's definitely 18 feet tall, right? Now, what's important is this. Why is the olive tree so important? Is that if you look at the Bible, the olive tree is mentioned many, many times, and that's a big sign already. Now, what happens is this. Why did it intrigue me? I know from my huge background in organic gardening and healthy and so on, that the typical fruit tree will last, if you're lucky, will last between 35 to 40 years. So apple trees, cherry trees, apricot trees will last about 35 to 40 years. So farmers who know this, when they've got orchards, they will do some work around the 35th year mark, and they'll create a new tree. They'll replant a new tree, and then it starts again, right? But guess what? The olive tree is an amazing tree, right? So I'd read somewhere, I couldn't believe my eyes, I'd read somewhere in one of my research papers that there was an olive tree in Israel, and it was 800 years old. I'll repeat that, 800 years old, right? And I went, wow. So I started to do a lot of research on olive leaves, olive trees, olives themselves, olive oil, and it just was an amazing pathway, right? And you could spend a whole lifetime just studying olives. Anyway, so I've got a friend. We took care of her when she was unwell, and she's actually Jewish, and she was born in Israel, but she lives here in London. Anyway, I told her about this tree. So when she went for a visit in Israel a few months later, she and 15 of her nieces, nephews, and so on went all over Israel, and they finally ended up on the border of Lebanon in Israel, and there was this olive tree there. And anyway, they started talking to the locals, and this tree was 920 years old. It wasn't 800 years, it was 920 years, 920. I mean, and it was still bearing olives. It was amazing, right? So I thought, wow, that's telling me something. So she came back with a few of the olives from the tree and gave it to me. And I thought, this tree is 900, it's still fertile. Wow. So I dug really deeply into it, and I found out that the reason why other trees die at say 40 is because they become weak. They become like an old man of 90, 95. They become weak because they've been taking care of themselves, and they start to dry, to desiccate. Insects bore into them and they die. Guess what I discovered? When insects, any insect, bores into and try to bore into an olive tree, there's a polyphenol, which is a chemistry compound in the olive tree. There's polyphenol, which kills the insect. Any insects, any virus that tries to attack the olive tree, it kills it with its own immune system. And I went, wow. So I started doing some research in Australia about this guy who had been growing olive trees since about 26 years old, and he nearly made 103, right? So he did okay. And one of his tricks was to drink olive oil and make tea with olive leaves, right? So I said, great. So what I did, I started realizing that the olive and olive leaves and olive leaves themselves are an incredibly potent source of antioxidants. In particular, a series of antioxidants which is very famous and very unique to the olive tree, and it's called polyphenol. Polyphenol. Poly is like polyester, metropolis, means multiple. In other words, polyphenols, the polyphenol compounds in the olive tree are numerous. And what do you use polyphenols for? To fight free radicals. Free radicals are what age you. So if you eat the wrong foods, if you eat white flour, if you eat the wrong meats, and you eat sugar, these are free radicals damage that causes in your body, and you age rapidly. When you take polyphenol on a regular basis, right, you literally reverse aging. In fact, you can stop aging where you are, right? So, and why is this important? Research in 2 universities have found that the extract from olive leaves are so potent in polyphenol compounds that they can actually help with fighting cancer, all colds, all flu, coughing, lowering blood pressure, creating a better pumping heart, lower palpitation, better sleep, right? Better skin, better hair, and better eyesight, because the polyphenol compounds are so powerful, right? So now I said to myself, let's work this out. So I found out the best combination to get all this goodness. And right now it couldn't be more appropriate with the COVID-19 and other variants going through. And since I've been using this technique, right, I can recall back, I was eating a lot of olives about even 30 years ago on a regular basis. And I haven't had a cold or flu or viruses for over 30 years. How's that? And my eyes, no glasses, right? So I'm going to give you a big clue here. When you do this, it's that easy. I know you haven't got an 18-foot olive tree yet, but let's come over here. Right? I'm going to show you what you do. Go to a good nursery, right? Photo on that. Go to a good nursery and buy yourself a little baby olive tree like that. That's about 2 feet tall, and that I paid £20 for that. 20. You can pay as much as £30, but have a good look at it. Have a good look at the leaves. You can see they're green already. You can see a little fruit forming already. Now, that tree, as it is, was £20. So I've planted in a big pot, right, on the side fence, right, and look at the flowers next to it. Can you see that? The same minerals I put in these flowers to make it so beautiful is I've put in there as well. Now, if you come further here, along here, you'll see you'll see where but there's the bottom of the tree. Have a look at the size of it. It's incredibly big. Look at it. Look at the size of it. See that? And there's a compost I used. There's the tree there. And these are the minerals I put around the tree. Have a look at the minerals. Cool. These are very strong minerals, about 88 minerals. So that makes the tree a potent source of polyphenol compounds. And as a result, I'm going to show you what to do. So if you then go back to this leaves here, when you're ready, I'm going to show you what we do. So once you've got your olive tree, have a look at beautifully green that is. Once you've got your olive tree, like 20-pound olive tree, you can shop around and don't go to places that are unknown. Go to a good nursery, right? There's quite a few around. So what you do, I found the perfect compound to make tea with, is you take 8 leaves about that size, 8 leaves of that, and you put it in a teapot. Then come over this way. We're going to go to the Kapha tree. So the Kapha tree up here this way. Just come over here. Now, so like I said before, 8 leaves of the olive tree. Now this is what we call a Kapha leaf. Now that also has got tremendously powerful antioxidant capacities. You can see this beautifully green because I look after it so well with minerals. Look at that, incredible. It's healthy personified. So 8 olive leaves, 2 of those leaves like that, okay. And when you crush that, it smells exactly like Thai soup from Thailand. Right? Do that, and then come over this way. And then what you do, you then add another punch, which is, this is a cross between a lime and an orange. And you can see here, we actually pick the fruit. Here it is, have a look. Like that, see, can you see that? Can you see it? It's a small, and when you cut the inside in the middle, it's orange. It's orange. So to recombine, 8 olive leaves, 2 Kapha limes, and this little fruit here. Now this tree here, I've taken a look at the tree. This tree is about probably 4 feet tall, right? And I planted it about 3 years ago. It's literally citrus, right? And that's the one that gives me the. Have a look in there. Have a look at that. You can see all the little orange color, right? Now, so what you do is this: you put your 8 leaves in a teapot, your 2 Kapha lime leaves, put boiling water on it, right? Let it brew for about 7 minutes. You must do it for 7 minutes. 8 minutes, you can get away with it. Now, at that point in time, the polyphenol compounds have leached out of the leaves and are sitting as a tea inside your teapot. At that point in time, when that's done, you pour the contents of the teapot in a big mug. You cut this in half, right, and you squeeze it. And then you also can put the 2 halves that you've squeezed in the actual teacup. Get yourself some Manuka honey from New Zealand. A teaspoon of that is added to the teacup, and you take that teacup 3 times a day. Let's say at 10 o'clock, I'd say 12:30, and about 4 o'clock. If you do that 2 to 3 times every day for the rest of your life, I'll guarantee you will be so strong immune system wise, no matter what the symptom is, you will be in great shape to fight it. Right? I've proven it, and everybody that's tried the system with our patients has come back to me and said, Ronald, it sounds simple, but it's not. But why it's not simple is because I had to do in-depth. I had to go in-depth to find out that this olive tree was 920 years old. Now, to also give you a further compact comment, there were 15 of these Jewish people, Israeli people, and they lined themselves in front of the olive tree. I've got a photo in front of the olive tree. They're side by side, right? 15 people, quite big size, about 6 feet and above. And on the left of the olive tree, there was another 18 inches of olive tree seen, and on the other side as well. So from the left of the picture to the right of the picture, this tree must have been about probably 15 to 16 feet wide. And it was still bearing olives. So she sent me the picture, and I went, I couldn't believe it. You could see that dark grey gnarl cover, and yet that tree was still fertile at 920 years old. What does that tell you? That's telling you, drink from me, eat from me, and you'll be the same. So I've noticed when you're unwell, you can increase the tea formulation to as many as 5-6 times a day. So if you want to prevent coughs, colds, hot flushes, anything like that, palpitations, like strokes, and even some forms of cancer, drink that combination: olive leaves, kaffir lime, and the little yellow lime. You can plant these yourself, right? And once you plant them and take care of them, you put the minerals in. They will last about 30-40 years. So there's your cup of tea right there in your backyard. So I hope we get some feedback on that. But best thing you can do for a start, go and get yourself a small olive tree, costs between 20 and 30 pounds. Get a healthy one, put it into a good sized pot or your garden, right? And then same with the lime lemon combination like that. This is like a mini tangerine. And then once you've done that, you're going to have incredible assay in your own backyard of healthy stuff. Make sense?
Yes,
All right. I hope you enjoyed that. And look at the sun today. Look at the skin, the quality of our skin. That's what we do every day on a regular basis. That's the sort of tea we drink.
Okay.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. I hope you found this useful. Please tag your friends and anyone else who needs to listen as well. Share this video. We also have written an ebook called How to Boost Your Immune System.
Yes.
So the link will be in the comments below. Please do download it as well, and you will learn a lot from it as well.
Yes.
Till next time, see you next week. Bye-bye.
Yes. Thank you.